And now for the Realdiculous segment, why do the media ignore Ron Paul? Well, recently, Eric Zorn, a writer for the Chicago Tribune, wrote an article titled the same as this segment, attempting to answer that question. And Zorn's elitism bleeds through his writing like the Boston Massacre meets Pickett's charge on Elm Street. After he belittles Paul's campaign and writes him off as never having a chance to win the White House without giving an adequate explanation as to how a political guru of his pedigree could reach such an assessment, he then references Paul's poor performances in Iowa and New Hampshire during the 2008 primaries. Finally, Zorn gives us the cherry on top of his crap sundae. And are you ready for this? Please, everyone, remain seated, because what I'm about to tell you is something you've never heard before from a Ron Paul critic. Zorn says Paul has some intriguing ideas, but he's too far out of the political and ideological mainstream to be elected. Now, I'm going to take this in two parts. First, how could a congressman who has served this country for 30 years on the same message, a constitutional scholar, and a patriot, be too far out of the mainstream to cover? But a junior congresswoman from Minnesota whose husband runs a Medicaid-funded Pray the Gay Away clinic is not too far out of the mainstream? So I guess a beauty queen hockey mom with a canceled reality show and only 2 years as a governor of the country's most remote state is not too far out of the mainstream either? Both have and were given considerable attention by the media and serious consideration as presidential candidates. But Ron Paul, he doesn't qualify. And secondly, there's your math skills, Eric. You cite primary numbers from 2008 as if they mean anything in late 2011. The game has changed completely, my friend. Ron Paul dominated the Time magazine poll, winning 55% of the vote. He was discounted by them. Ron Paul dominated the Fox News debate. Sean Hannity couldn't find the time to interview him. Ron Paul finished second in the highly covered Ames Iowa straw poll, and now the poll is being considered unscientific and not a good indicator of who is leading. This is so completely and utterly Realdiculous that I've got but one simple suggestion for the media. Why don't you let the people decide? Just let us decide who we'd like to have as our president. And on a side note, the latest Gallup poll has Ron Paul in third place. So I guess that means they have a glitch in their poll too. And that is Realdiculous, my friend.